The motoring tip of the week is brought to you by Walmart. For everyday low prices on Pennzoil, conventional, and synthetic oils.
Our motoring tip of the week concerns motor oils. You know, there's not a vehicle that I can think of today where the engine, the powertrain in that vehicle, wouldn't conceivably outlast the chassis of the vehicle if you give it proper servicing. And motor oil is so important to proper servicing of your vehicle. If you change it at the prescribed intervals and use the proper motor oil, a quality motor oil, you're in 99% of cases, you're going to have that vehicle last the entire life, service life that you want out of that vehicle without ever having to open up the engine. But if you don't service it properly, I can pretty much guarantee you, eventually that neglect will catch up with you. This little Nissan NV200 is a perfect example of a mainstream vehicle that just requires a conventional 5W30 motor oil. This is absolutely fine for this vehicle. If you want to spend a little bit more though, if you're offered an upgrade to a 5W30 synthetic, money well spent. Better winter performance, better starting in sub-zero temperatures, and much better engine protection during that critical couple of minutes of initial startup in sub-zero temperatures. You also get better performance in the summertime. It is much better engine protection for a little bit more money. Now, you want to make sure that you're changing that lubricant at the intervals that your manufacturer calls for, and that varies quite a bit between one manufacturer and another. So make sure you consult your owner's manual. Another good tip, for example, if you've got a late model GM car, they call for 5W30 in a lot of their engines, but they need Dexos compliance on their motor oil, and that's usually a synthetic or a synthetic blend motor oil. So make sure your late model GM gets Dexos if that's what it calls for. Now, when it comes to oil filters, extra money spent on a premium oil filter is money well spent. Full flow oil filters on modern engines, all the oil that's delivered to the engine, crankshaft bearings and all the parts in the engine is routed through the filter before it gets to any of those parts. So the filter strains out or filters out any particles that could damage the bearings in the engine, and you want to make sure that it's being changed every oil change interval and that you're using a really quality filter as well. Now, in between oil change intervals, you want to make sure that you're diligent and checking that engine oil level. Make sure that it's always full, top it up when necessary, and don't be concerned if that engine oil discolors in service. That's what it's meant to do. The detergency, which is an important aspect or property of the motor oil, it dissolves and holds in suspension all the contaminants that could hurt your engine. Allows the oil filter to pick them up and filter them out, and allows the guys here in the TLE to drain them out and get fresh oil in when you come in for an oil change. That's your motoring tip of the week.